Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast, a special late night Easter edition. It's currently 9:35 p.m. Eastern time on Easter Sunday. John and I just hearing about the Odell Beckham to the Ravens news. So we couldn't wait any longer. We wanted to jump on and give you guys our thoughts. We're not available tomorrow. I'm pretty sure Justin and Josh are going to also put out a video with their thoughts. That'll be coming out sometime later today or possibly the next. So if you don't like what we had to say, maybe check out their video, see if you like what they had to say. Before we get into this, big major announcement. This is the first Dawgs Podcast recording, I believe, since the big news has dropped that we are the official podcast of Dog Pound Daily. So we're very thankful for that. Very thankful to all the fans, all you guys listening and giving the show support. It's only because of you guys are able to take this next step. So we're super appreciative of that. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you prefer to just listen to the podcast, you can find us on Apple and Spotify. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And before we get into it, jointhedawgs.com. You can become a Dog Pack member on the Patreon, extra episodes, access the private Discord, all the good stuff. Everybody has a good time in there. So, I think we do a lot of stuff with DF Sports now. He's a Patreon member, so who knows, if you join the Dog Pack, maybe one day you'll get to be a co-host on the Dog. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to hang out with us more, you want to meet Browns fans from all over the world, jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. So, John, I'm glad you were able to stay awake for this. You look a little tired, buddy. You going to be okay? You going to make it through this?
I'll be fine.
I told John we should do this. I told him it wouldn't be very late, and that was before I knew that my child was going to take an hour to get to go to sleep. So I was dadding right before this. So I got to put down my dad hat and put on my podcast hat now. It's where we're getting very serious. So learned earlier today while I was eating my Easter ham, Odell Beckham Jr. signs with the Ravens on a 1-year, $15 million guaranteed contract that can go up to $18 million with incentives. Are you surprised? What was your initial thoughts when you saw that?
That the Ravens have to be pretty desperate. But I like Odell. I would have taken Odell back too, but not for $15 million for a 1-year deal. That's a lot of money. He's not getting young. I mean, he's old. He's been hurt back-to-back seasons, right?
Yeah, he's coming out of back-to-back ACL. Yeah, well, first I think it was the ankle, and then he had a hamstring in Cleveland, and then he had an ACL in Cleveland, and then an ACL. He's coming back off back-to-back ACL surgeries. I think Josh actually put it out on our social media pages. The Ravens just signed a 31-year-old receiver coming off back-to-back ACL surgeries to $15 million guaranteed, but people still give the Browns crap about some of their signings. He's making the same and potentially more than Amari Cooper's going to make this year.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. They must have a lot of faith in him.
I agree with you. The first thing I thought when I saw was Ravens are desperate. This to me is like when you see a bad team, and I'm not saying the Ravens are a bad team. Obviously, we know they're a good organization, but to me, when you see bad teams just kind of like throwing crap at the wall, seeing what will stick, like just trying grasping straws to get anything. I mean, like you said, I love Odell. I 100% would have taken him back in Cleveland. I've been a staunch supporter of Odell the whole time he was in Cleveland, never since he left. I'm not an Odell Beckham hater at all. I'm a huge fan of his, actually. But to give him $15 million guaranteed, if the Browns would have brought him back this year, I thought it was going to be on like a $5 to $7 million contract. And if with incentives, maybe he could get up to like 10 or 11. To give him $15 million guaranteed and here's the thing is he played really well for the Rams after we released him before he tore his knee up. But that was the second and third option. He had Cooper Kupp, he had Van Jefferson, he had all these people to take the heat off of him where he could just slide in, be the third option. They just signed him to be their number one. I love Odell, but I don't think he's a number one wide receiver anymore.
What you said, he's the third option, and that was a Super Bowl winning team. So they kind of had everything right.
Yeah.
They had a good offense. They had a good quarterback. Ravens don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. If it's not, if it's not Lamar, and I know Lamar's not the best thrower, but I mean, he's not terrible, really. And as a quarterback in general, if it's not Lamar, though, who's going to throw this guy the ball?
Tyler Huntley, I guess. I don't think Lamar's coming back. I think that ship has sailed. But if somehow they mend the fences and he does come back, I think Odell can play well with Lamar because I think their playing styles kind of suit each other. Like Lamar can ad-lib, break the pocket, and then Odell's good at that scramble drill, just getting open kind of thing. Like we always heard that in Cleveland he was running the wrong routes. He's just kind of ad-libbing and getting open. Well, I think like that kind of suits Lamar. It's not a precision passing game with Lamar. So I do think that they could play well. Can he play $15 million well? Can he stay healthy and be your number one wide receiver for 17 games? I don't want the guy to get hurt. I'm a fan of his, but man, I don't know if he can do that anymore. I don't know. I mean, we paid Amari $15 million last year to be our number one, and he had a great season. Do I think Odell can put up what Amari put up last year? I don't think so. I don't think he's putting that up.
No, I mean he's old and he's hurt. It's tough to come back from back-to-back ACLs. So I'm not. This is definitely not a signing I'm worried about as a rival to the Ravens, and I'm not sure that this signing is going to be enough to get Lamar Jackson to want to stay. I think Lamar's done. And when you're done, you're just kind of done.
Do you think he's done or just not number one?
Oh, Lamar? I think he's done with Baltimore.
Okay. You said Lamar. I thought you were talking about Odell. I thought you said Odell was done, like he was cooked or something, like he couldn't play.
No, I mean, I don't think this signing, it kind of reminds me of 2010. We didn't know where LeBron James was going to go. We kept hearing rumors and we thought, hey, let's go out and get him Antoine Jameson. That'll make him stay.
I can see that, but I resent that because I liked Antoine Jameson. He played well. I think Odell can play well for the Rams. I just don't know if he can live up to $15 billion guaranteed. And I don't think any team was even close to offering him this. I don't think, I heard teams were offering him like 5. And the $15 million thing is, I'll be curious to see. I know Aaron Butler called this in the YouTube comments not that long ago that the Ravens were going to sign Odell. Good for you, man. If the Browns were going to sign Odell to be their number 2 or 3 behind Amari and DPJ, I would have been thrilled. If the Browns are signing him to be the number 1, I would not be that pumped, especially if there's a heavy chance my quarterback was going to be Tyler Huntley. And what does this say to if you're the Ravens front office and you're Lamar and his agent, aka just himself? What does this say if the Ravens are willing to give 31-year-old double ACL tear Odell Beckham Jr. $15 million, but they won't pay you? You know what I mean? Like, I know there's a big difference between $15 million guaranteed and $200 million guaranteed, but they're willing to pay this old guy pretty high guaranteed money for his position in terms of his age, but they won't pay you. So what do you think that says to Lamar? Do you think this incentivizes Lamar to come back, or do you think it irritates him a little bit?
I don't know if it irritates him, but I don't know why it would incentivize it. I mean, you didn't just go out and get Tyreek Hill. If this was Odell 5 or 6 years ago, then sure, I would want to stay. If I were Lamar, I'd want to throw it to him. That's been kind of one of the defenses of Lamar is he didn't have great receivers. I don't know if I buy it, but he definitely hasn't had all-world receivers to throw to. But, man, this is Odell at 31 years old. I don't know. I think Lamar just wants to be out.
Oh, for sure. I agree. Like I was going to ask you then, I said with OBJ signing with the Ravens, do you think he talked to Lamar and Lamar was like, hey, sign with the Ravens, I'm going to get back there, don't worry? Or do you think OBJ was just like, this is the place that's going to give me this crazy contract, I'm going there?
I don't know, but what I think, if I had to guess, I think that's about double what any other team was going to pay him, and I think he just took the money.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think it gives any indication on Lamar either way. I don't think, like you said, I don't think this incentivizes Lamar to come back. I was just posing the question about him being irritated that they gave him guaranteed money, but I definitely, like you said, don't think it doesn't. If I'm Lamar, I didn't see my phone go off that the Ravens signed OBJ and went, oh, I got to get back to Baltimore now. Like this is not the signing that tips the scales towards me going back to Baltimore if I'm Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they got a real game changer, because their defense is already good.
Defense is going to be probably better than good. Their defense is going to be very good. And
their special teams is good. I mean, they got the best kicker pretty much ever. So, I mean, yeah, if they went out and got somebody like, I don't know, Justin Jefferson, then sure. Yeah, if I'm Lamar, I'm staying. But I don't think the Ravens have done what it takes to make Lamar want to stay.
No. And what makes Lamar want to stay is that he wants a bunch of money. And I just don't think they're going to give it to him.
This episode is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Spring is in the air, and that can only mean one thing: spring grilling. The steak experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to spring into something delicious with their semi-annual sale. With 50% off site-wide, grab all your favorites like perfectly aged, tender steaks, ocean-fresh seafood, juicy burgers, incredible air-chilled chicken, and decadent desserts. Plus, when you go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. It's the perfect way to get fired up and spring into something special. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use code DAWGS at checkout. Take advantage of this deal right now. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship your order right away, and you're going to want to hurry because 50% off site-wide is only happening for a limited time. So don't miss your chance to save big right now. Visit omahasteaks.com. Use code DAWGS, DAWGS at checkout. Get that additional $30 off when you shop their semi-annual sale today. Minimum order may be required.
But no, it's a very interesting signing. What do you think? Do you think Odell comes into the division with revenge on his mind against the Browns? Like, are you worried about that at all?
No.
I agree. I think his time in Cleveland was such a short blip on his radar, and by all accounts, he might not have wanted to be in Cleveland. Like, it might not have been his favorite place, but by all accounts, his time here, he enjoyed it. He got along with the people. We did him a solid by releasing him, actually, so he was able to go get a Super Bowl. So I don't think he comes into the division with any kind of resentment, but I guess there's always, anytime you play a team that you used to be on, I think you kind of go out there with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, so it'd be interesting to see how he plays. It'd also be interesting to see what kind of reception he gets in Cleveland, because I think the fan base is very split on Odell. There's guys like you and I who are very high and would have taken him back in a second. And then there's that side of the fan base who is very high on our old quarterbacks who hate him. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of reception he gets back when they play in Cleveland this year.
Yeah, he'll definitely get a positive one from me. I got nothing but love for him.
Yep, I'm a big fan of the guy. I was shocked to see the kind of contract. If the Ravens would have signed him to a 6-year or 1 year, $6 million deal, I wouldn't even put out an episode about it. It wouldn't even have been talk worthy. It's the fact that they're giving him $15 million guaranteed that's where it's kind of crazy to me. Yeah,
the guaranteed portion is really high.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what people say about this, what Ravens fans are thinking. Browns fans, let us know what you guys think in the comments. What does this do for their offensive roster as a whole? Do you think this helps incentivize Lamar to come back? Do you think that ship has sailed? Just let us know your thoughts in the comments. Again, look out for Josh and Justin's thoughts on the same topic later today or tomorrow. They're going to be recording an episode. It'll probably look better than this because they're going to have Josh doing all the important stuff, and I'm not a producer, so this is going to look and sound terrible. But we appreciate you checking in with us. John, I appreciate you staying up late for me and doing this with me. I didn't want to miss out on getting my thoughts out there. I'm trying to earn a living on this podcast life. I can't keep missing episodes. So I appreciate you guys being here. Again, Big shout out to Dog Pound Daily for making us their official podcast of their website. Thank you to everybody who listens to the show and has supported us for the last couple of years to help us get to this point. We can't wait to keep pumping out more content for you guys over the off season. And we appreciate you guys being here. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.